This preview brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.
Once again, a big card of harness racing at Melton tonight. Another 12-race card, which is pretty much typical for Friday nights, and plenty of form to get through, and hopefully plenty of winners. Tipping in the first race there, I thought this first special of the evening or afternoon, as it is, or 6:33, 5:33. So it's late afternoon, but we come up with number 12, Guns N' Roses, in this very strong claimer. Gee, his last couple of runs have been really good. This is his latest effort. He ran second to Let's Slash and Burn in a claimer of this ilk, going back a fortnight ago here. It was a very strong effort, worked round, sat in the breeze, and was beaten by a horse who's a real class performer. 12 a special in the first, starting off on a good note, hopefully, to beat number 1, Mark Ruler, who does his best when in front. He should be in front from the pole. His form's in and out, but he certainly grows a leg when he's in front. Third pick in the race, number 6, Toulouse-Lautrec, and fourth pick, number 8, and that is an Eden Hustler. Both Lance Justice trainees. An Eden Hustler might get a run behind the possible leader, and Toulouse-Lautrec's been going well without it really showing on the scoreboard. 12-1, 6 and 8 in race 1. Race 2 on the program, and number 1, Roger's Passion, comes up as our second special. We're getting in early here. It could be a bit of value too, because I noticed that there's a strong push for other horses in the race, especially number 10, Bit of a Babe. But this one last week ran third here to I'm Smouldering. It made a run early, which you won't see in this replay. It worked hard. Then it took the one out, one back. Was out again at the 600 metre mark and battled on very strongly for third to I'm Smouldering and Glenferrie Shuffle, who I think either of those would eat this field. So one on top, Roger's Passion. Second pick, number 10, Bit of a Babe. Last start second in the South Australian Oaks at Globe Derby Park a couple of weeks back after winning a similar race to this here. For third, number 7, Lier Noir. A beaten odds-on favourite here last time after pulling too hard in the breeze. It led all the way to win here at its previous run. If it settles better, it's got a chance even from the wide draw. And number 6, Lavish Art, who ran third to Lier Noir, 2 starts back's got a chance to get its latest run where it had nothing go its way. Won a special, 10, 7 and 6 in race 2. Race 3, the Vic Harness Racing Sports Club Provincial Pace Cup Final, and we're tipping here number 9, Water Avenue. Abortive trip to Sydney last weekend where it got back in the field and just didn't get around them at its first look at Tabcorp Park, Menangle. Now back to Tabcorp Park, Melton. It's gone okay here in the past. It was a Shepparton winner here 2 starts back. Finished down the track, as I said, at Menangle last time. Very tough horse with good form around the likes of Restrepo, and ain't that good form. 6, Maccabeeba for second in this race. It ran second to Future Operator in its heat of this race at Geelong recently. It's needed its 3 runs from a spell, all good seconds, ready to win. Third pick, number 12, Future Operator, who won at Geelong, won the Geelong heat, beating Maccabeeba, and just didn't get into the race at Stool last night, but it's got a chance here. And fourth pick, number 3, My Hard Copy, a former Kiwi who's going quite well, a 3-year-old who's drawn perfectly here with a scratching of number 1 that comes into gate 2. 9, 6, 12 and 3 in race 3. Race 4, Trotters Free for All, a tricky race because it's over the 1720 metre mark, and some of the back markers might sometimes struggle to get around them. I've actually tipped the second line horse here, Mr. Zion. He won the Australasian Trotters Championship 2 starts back here, the final of that race after winning its heat at Ballarat. Ran fourth here last time, but I didn't do it. Just didn't sprint with them. I didn't do it. Led last week. Was able to set a slow pace and beat I Can Do's It, which was a feat in itself. Mr. Zion just didn't wind up in time. They went very slowly. I think they'll go quicker here. And look, I'm not dogmatic about this race. It's a very tricky race. 5, Aleppo Sunrise is the probable leader here. It goes well when in front. Second, Amati Young Jacob here 2 starts back, and third in the George Gatto. I didn't do it at Shepparton, and before that when leading. For third, number 7, Sundon's Gift, the old timer. Good first up, second here a couple of weeks back to Escapee, and then didn't get in the race last week when they were just sprinting. And one Aleppo Midas. I think this is as good a horse as there any is in Australia as far as just natural ability, but she just goes to pieces when she gets in these mobiles. And Barrier 1's probably the worst horse she could have had because she blew up from the start from Barrier 1 in that race at Shepparton, 4 starts back. She's done okay since. She's got a chance if she trots all the way. 8, 5, 7 and 1 in race 4. Race 5, 1, 9, 5 and 3, because I can in a very open race, but a good quality race here. Right up behind them went fourth the Mel Park Major under free-for-all conditions here last Friday night, perfectly drawn. Did run second, actually second to Marseille going back 5 starts, only beaten 4 metres, and that's a good form line for the one because I can. Second pick, number 9, National Service. It just didn't get to them in the home straight when handing up the Hall of Famer here last week. I think the early speed battle actually did come out of the gate, probably just took the edge edge off it, but sitting back here, it can really produce a devastating finishing sprint. Third pick, number 5, Wash Me Pockets, is crying out to win at this level. It deserves a win. Hasn't won since last September, but it's won some great races, especially in some recent country cups. And number 3, Mark Dennis, stablemate of the pole mark, has got a chance as well. Forget its latest 2 runs, go on its second, a Smolder here, narrowly beaten 3 starts back, 1, 9, 5 and 3 in race 5. Race 6 on the program is an MO race, number 1, Repellum. What a run last week behind. It only ran 5th to Pembroke Caesar, but it was just looking for room in the home straight, crashing into Sulkneys, what have you, with a stack of pace up its sleeve. A classy South Australian mare who's won 34 of its 57 starts. Drawn perfectly here. I'm tipping it because of the barrier. 3 Majestic Range, low flying. It's won something like, well, not something like, it's won 6 of its 7 starts this season and a luckless placing in the other. Just the thing, I may not cross the 2 inside it because they've got terrific gates, but if it does lead Majestic Rain, I think it'll win, however, and it's got a chance even if it doesn't. 4, Serum Knight's ready to win a race, like its run here, went 3rd last week, and number 2, Art Shadow, has got the early speed. Don't know whether it's got the ability to go right on with it, the business end, but it's in with an each-way chance. 1, 3, 4 and 2 in race 6. Race 7, the Lance Justice Racing Stables Pace for the faster class paces. Number 2, Our Blackbird. Well, this ran 6th in the Hunter Cup 2 starts back, and it just doesn't grade well on that run. It just had no luck here last week, went wide, eventually sitting in the breeze and 4th, the Hall of Famer. That's not its go. It's more sit sprint or leading. I think it might lead here. Be very hard to beat. 1, Varangi. It's in good form. Winner here, 2 starts back. Didn't have much go its way here last week behind Hall of Famer. It's drawn to either lead, which I don't think it will. I think it might be better off taking the sit. Might not have the speed to keep out Our Blackbird and Real Smooth Lombo, who does fly the gate. 3rd pick in the race, number 8, Composed. Hasn't won for some time, but dropping back to a winnable level. And 4th pick, number 6, Jukebox Music, who's run 2 starts back, went second to Uncle Wingnut at Mildura. It was a beauty. Uncle Wingnut winning here last week. 2, 1, 8 and 6 in race 7. Race 8, Victorian Harness Racing Sports Club Metropolitan Cup Final. Tipping here, number 10, Easy Does It Lombo. Comprehensive winner at Everett Shepherd and Heat of this race, beating Bon Jovi. 2 starts back up to running second at Just Live Life. First up's a very nice filly or mare now, and she'll be running on strongly from this good trailing draw. 2, Christian World will be improved by 2 runs from a spell. Forget the latest when it was a 151.6 failure, but not far away in a race at Menangle last time. They won't go that fast here. 3rd pick, number 9, Cut for an Ace, is an honest tradesman who'll be running home strongly at the finish. And number 8, Spot 9, luckless here last week. 10, 2, 9 and 8 in race 8. Race 9, the Glenferrie Farm Sapling Stakes for the 2-year-old fillies. Tipping here, the first starter, number 2, Fond Design. An Adam Kelly trained, and his team going well at the moment. Adam Kelly trained filly who's really well bred. It's a half-sister to Cut the Attitude, who is a multiple winner going back a couple of seasons. It's trialled well here, and it's in a very winnable race first up. To beat number 9, Tuscan Breeze, who won a similar race here last week it was actually. Probably second line, not as much in its favour this time, but it's certainly got an each-way chance in the race. 4, Long Tam Bliss ran second to Tuscan Breeze last week. It's an improver. It draws the front line. The other one draws the second line, so it can reverse that decision. And 1, Desiring Bella, wasn't far away in that same race a couple of weeks back, or a similar race a couple of weeks back. 2, 9, 4 and 1 in race 9. Race 10, a tricky race. This is a very good trotters race. Triumphant Monarch's by far the best horse in the race. Last start winner of the Breeders' Crown 3-year-old series last August, but it does come back from a wide alley. He's trialled well for his return, but he's got a bit of competition here from the horses that are probably fitter than him at this stage. 6, Mr. Elwood, totally luckless here in recent weeks. Well up to this, judging by a win in similar company here, 5 starts back. 3rd pick is number 10, and that is Love You Good Boy, who ran a very good second here last week to Sparks Ignite when nutted on the line after winning the week before on this circuit. And 3, Son of Paco, now it's drawn a nice alley. It can improve on its last couple of runs. 7, 6, 10 and 3 in race 10. Race 11, we see the return of last season's 2-year-old champion, Blitz Them Colder. Huge raps on this. Could be a real star of the future. Well, he's a star already. He's only been beaten three times in his 13 starts, all because of his own making. He draws the pole. He is fresh. So just a little bit of a worry about what happens in the early stages. Number 5, Roy Hobbs, has met this bloke at the second last start when he ran second, only beaten half a neck by Blitz Them Colder in what was a terrific finish. And then he was a good first up winner, breaking the track record, all-comers track record, as a 3 3-year-old at Cranbourne last time. I think it's going to be a good match race between this pair with Blitzen Cola resuming. 1 to beat 5, but nothing between them really. 7 and 9 are the next two, Son of Sunoco and Hackershack, but certainly Hackershack is racing for place money only, and Son of Sunoco has a little chance of winning. 1, 5, 7 and 9 in race 11. Finishing off with a lower grade trotters race, 6, 4, 1 and 5. Hard race to sort out. 6 Like It Chilled. Good second at Bendigo last time's good enough for me to beat number 4 My Archie Way, who ran third in that same race. 1 Worthily was luckless in that Bendigo race. Nice sit sprinter drawn to do just that. 4th pick number 5. 6, 4, 1 and 5 in the last. 2 best bets there in the first 2 races. Race 1 number 12. Race 2 number 1. That's race 1. Number 12 Guns N' Roses. 2 number 1 Rogers Passion, and the roughie is race 5 number 8 Caption Cullen. The quaddie we're going 1, 3, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 3, 5 and 9. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 8. That's 1, 3, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 3, 5 and 9. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 8. That's harness racing from Melton tonight. A 12 race card. Good luck.
This preview brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.